who is this lady and why is she back in the show? Well, this lady here is Den Watts, and this lady right here is Chrissie Watts. Chrissie Watts then killed this lady here with the Queen Fig statue, and she's in prison. That's the brief rundown. The video's done. Fucking way.
See ya.
But yeah, this is Chrissie Watts. She was married to this guy Den Watts, who is a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. And Den Watts was, I was very quickly say, not emotional. He was like the original Nish. If you want a modern comparison, he was like vindictive. He was manipulative. He was like trying to always get his own way. And they really.
He wanted his cake and eat it and wanted to eat it too. You know.
He only. He only really cared about one person and one person only, Sharon, which is revealed in time of recording this, the 9th of September's episode of 2024, because Chrissie's like, yeah, he only really cared about you, he didn't give a shit about me, which is very true. They tried to retcon it by saying Dan's favourite line that he used on Sharon, hello princess, was given by his biological father to him. Which no one likes.
Given by Sharon's biological dad, Gavin Sullivan.
Not Den's biological father, Sharon's biological dad. I think they've retconned anyway. So I just bring it up because it's so funny. Like, why would you add that detail in, lads? But yeah, who is Chrissie Watts?
So who is Chrissie Watts? Chrissie Watts is someone who's a much bigger match for Den than Angie ever was. Chrissie, like Den, is fairly manipulative, fairly calculating, fairly cold. She knows how to hold her own, just like how him and Angie were always kind of, Den was always 2 steps ahead of Angie, and she was never really in control of anything in that relationship. And that's why they fell to pieces, because Den would continually have his own way and keep cheating on her and cheating on her and cheating on her until she couldn't fucking handle it anymore and had a major fucking bout of alcoholism. But Chrissie Watts, she initially appeared in 2004 in search of Den. Their marriage was not going well, and he'd sold her their bar in Spain, and he'd sold their bar and taken the money. Den then proceeds to go, look, let's give it another chance. Let's do our marriage again. So she comes to Walford, learns about Sharon, Dennis, and Vicky, or Den's children, and that he was living in Spain after faking his own death. She works in the hairdressers, and she starts to get quite worried because he's showing tendencies that she's probably known a bit before as Den. He starts seeming like he's having an affair with Kate Mitchell, who was obviously married to Phil. So she fucking attacks. She uncovers the affair. She attacks Kate, and then leaves Walford fairly soon after. And she's pretty fucked over by Den's betrayal. Den leaves to Spain on business. Chrissie returns. She eventually makes a truce with Kate, and then kind of coerces Vicky's older boyfriend into being a bit of a creep. Den then comes back and says, look, I want you back, and I want you to help me take down Phil, and I want you to help me take down the Mitchell family. He says, I can't do it without you. She says, if you ever cheat again, I will kill you. So, fucking, wow, delicious. And together they scam the Mitchells out of the fortune and move into the Queen Vic on Christmas Day 2004. Very soon after, though, Den starts sleeping with Zoe, and Chrissie then tries to coerce Zoe to abort Den's child. And then Chrissie, Zoe, and Sam Mitchell all plan on revenge for Den. Chrissie for the affairs and the betrayal, Zoe for forcing her to fake the pregnancy and sleeping with him, and Sam for losing the pub to Den in the fucking scheme that her and Chrissie were involved to. And Chrissie then wants Den to sign the pub over to her. So then they finally go ahead and confront him. They confront him. He opens up. He got all of the misdoings, all the affair. And this is when Sharon, just like Den's entrance when he returns in, what year was it? 2003, 2002. He emerges from the shadows, says, "Hello, princess." Sharon emerges from the shadows, spots Den, says something similar, and is obviously being revealed of all of the awful shit that Den protected Sharon from knowing. So it goes awry. Chrissie knows that Den will only ever love Sharon. So Den attacks Chrissie, hits her on the head against the fruit machine. So he picks up Pauline Fowler's dog doorstop, hits Den over the head with it, and falls to the ground. And then they think he's dead, but he's not dead. As Zoe and Sam go to turn away, Chrissie starts to be like, "Yeah, I've fucking won. I've fucking nailed it." But he grabs her leg, so she picks up said doorstop, hits him in the head, and this is Den Watts' death. They then bury him in the pub cellar, which is filled with cement the next morning. So, I mean, just taking it from this, there's a lot of parallels to the Six currently. If we look at this, a lot of parallels to the Six, and that will be explored in Chrissie's return, as Chrissie is now here to be with Sharon. Sharon had to kill a man. Well, Sharon was involved in the death of a man she loved, and a man who went bad and proceeded to do some awful things, like to her and because of her. And this meant that in the end he had to die. They covered up the death. They covered up it. They buried him under some cement in the cafe, and have had to hide with his secret. Obviously, no one really survived this secret. Chrissie eventually got sent to prison, which is where she still resides now. Zoe, I think she just fucked off. And they were supposed to do these big trial scenes, but the actress said, nah, I'm out. And then Sam went on the run for a couple of years and eventually managed to get free of the conviction. So yeah, that is who Chrissie Watts is. I'll kind of thank the EastEnders subreddit, not the subreddit, the wiki, for that very detailed explanation of who Chrissie Watts was, put into words better than I could have ever imagined. But yeah, so Chrissie is a manipulative and a very calculating woman. As said before, she is more of an equal to Den Watts than any of his other women were. And that is why it's going to be interesting seeing how Chrissie and Sharon interact after so many years apart, as Sharon is then locked inside prison with the murderer of her dad. But will she sympathize with her? Will they get along? Will they learn that they have more in common than they thought? Will they recognize that Den was actually a piece of shit? Who knows? But that's obviously all the background information that I think everybody needs to understand and fully comprehend who is Chrissie Watts. This is who she is, and I hope that's filled in the blanks if you never knew who she was before now. Thanks for watching. Join us in the next one. See you then. Bye-bye.